Yes. Deepat Jyoti Param Brahma Deepat Jyotir Janardanaha Deepo Me Haratu Papani Deepat Jyotir Namostute.
Very good. And Alice, can you do this one?
Oh, the second. Om Achyutaya Namaha. Om Anantaya Namaha. Om Govindaya Namaha.
Good. And Bea?
Yes. Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheswaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Not too sure about the intonation for this.
You know what? You know why it's confusing? Because you might have maybe when you were in Shambhala, because when Sharada, I think so. There's different meters. So within 1 meter, you can also have different meters. So the very common one is Anushtup, but within Anushtup, there are different swaras. So Sharada chant, if I remember correctly, she has a different swaras. So you might heard that because I heard two different ones, two different swaras. Now, but this fella, but they're both correct. Like there's not like better, you know, it's not, and it's not right and wrong. They're both Anushtup. But this fellow needs to, so you gotta go, when you come here, you gotta go Gurus, Sa, and then you have to change the position of the tongue, Shat. So do it one more time, slow it down a little bit, and then see if you can get all those subtle sounds.
Okay, from the beginning, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheswaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha.
Good, much better. The reason is this here you change a little bit this swara, and I think I figure out why, because you make this, because this is a diphthong, right? So this is 2 matras, and that's why you gotta go tasmai, so it's long, and then you fall into the tasmai shri gurave namaha. So make a note, make sure you get that I, and then this also shri Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Because if you're rushing here, then you're gonna fall off the wagon. You just have to go back again. It's like sitting on a mama's monkey back, you know, it goes like so fast. It's just up again and do it again.
Yeah, I think also I learned this before, and I think when you need to relearn it properly, it's more difficult.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, yeah.
Very.
I've never listened to the Tasmai Shri. It was always like a bit falling off the bike, I guess.
Yeah. That's really like when you learn and then you gotta unlearn it. It's much harder than being. I know where you're coming from. Yeah, it can be really something, and because it goes so deep, you learned it so. But you're doing great. Okay, Alice.
Shuklam Bharadharam Vishnu Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vigno Pashantaye.
Beautiful.
I practiced the rus, but I don't know if that's I don't know if this is gonna work. It worked that time. This time it worked.
It really worked. It was very, very nice. Beautiful. Very nice. Alice, sorry, Bea.
Yes. Do I do the first line or? the whole?
Shall we do, it's up to you. Shall we do one at a time?
Okay.
Oh, one more, you know, when you get to this gum here, so it's not an aspirate. It's easy to think that it's a gum. It's a gum, but the sound is coming from the base of the throat. So gum satyam gum 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 gum. So you feel it in the lungs.
Okay.
Gum.
I'll try that. I think I have even written on the note, but obviously I don't read it. Okay. Om bhuhu, om bhuvaha, om suvaha, om mahaha, om janaha, om tapaha, om gum satyam.
Really good. Very good. Very good. You want to continue? This one?
Yes. Om tat savitur varenyam bhargo devasya dhimahi dhiyo yo na prachodayate.
Good. Very good. Just like we said before, now start working and get the sounds out, and that's going to happen when you chant more and more. It's going to come naturally. But you're doing is beautiful, and now get the sounds out. Next, last one.
Om apo jyoti rasomritam brahmar bhur bhuvasuvaram.
So here we got to be careful because it's so we got to go like brahma, bhur bhuvasuvarom, brahma, bhur bhuvasuvarom. So the first one is not aspirate, so it's just brahma, bhur bhuvasuvarom. Want to try one more time?
Yes, please. Om apo jyoti rasomritam brahma bhur bhuvasuvaram.
Listen one more time. It's
Yes.
brahma, bhur bhuvasuvarom. Brahma, bhur bhuvasuvarom. It's tricky there because it's kind of unaspirate, but then you still have an aspirate because you have the ha, and then another aspirate, and that one is with a dirgha, and then again, but that one is short. So there's a lot of things happening. So brahma, bhur bhuvasuvarom.
Brahma bhur bhuvasuvaram.
Much better. So just practice that one because that's a tricky part there. And Alice?
Om Mamopata Samasta Duritakshaya Dwara Shri Mara. Oops, where am I? I've lost myself. Shri Parameshwara Prityartam Jnana Vairagya Bhakti Siddhyartam Shri Mahasaraswati Devye Pujam Karishye.
Good.
I just forgot myself partway through. My mind went blank.
That's okay. Try to see if you can, for next time, close your eyes because you know this. You have this almost like both of you probably know this by heart now, and smooth this a little bit out. So, mamopata. You hear that? Mamopata. So you're landing on a takara, and then you have the ta. Mamopata, samasta, and then you have a dvita, right? So get less of this mamopata, not like this cutting, just kind of smooth it out a little bit, but otherwise beautiful.
So would you say it's pata?
Mamopata, pat, pat. So you're landing on a takara, right? Pata. So you have two.
Pata.
Yes. You want to try it one more time?
Yes, please. Om Namo Pata Samasta Duritakraya Dwara Shri Parameshwara Prityartam Jnana Vairagya Bhakti Siddhyartam Shri Mahasaraswati Devye Pujam Karishye.
Yes. There you got it. Perfect. All right. Bea.
Yes, I'll see here. Prithvi Tvaya Drita. I can't remember the meter here.
Prithvi Tvaya. So Prithvi Tvaya. Prithvi.
Prithvi Tvaya Drita Loka Devi Tvam Vishnuna Drita Tvam Chadhara Yamam Devi Pavitram Kuru Chasanam.
Good. There was, you did read, you got the melody and you got the swaras. Just this one is long, right? So you got man, right? Man, devi. And this one, you don't stay here. So you go straight into the, once you get to the takara, you get a little bit of a break there. Pavit, pavit, pavitrang, pavitrang, kuru, chasanam. So if you can just do this one slowly. So man, devi, pavitrang, sorry. Mandevi pavitrang, sorry, now I go there. Prithvi tvaya drita lokaha devitvam vishnuna drita tvancha dharaya mam devi pavitrang kuruchasanam.
Okay. Mam Devi Pavitram Kuruchasanam.
Good. So just practice that one. Mandevi pavitrang kuruchasanam. Mandevi pavitrang. Mandevi. Sometimes it's hard to jump in the middle. I find it like it's easy to start from the beginning to get back, to get on the track. So, but yeah, so just make sure that this is long and that is a dvitvam kuru chasanam. Okay, Alice.
Argamartan tu devanam gamanartan tu rakshasam kurve ghantaravantatra devata hwanalanchanam.
Good. Can you do it one more time? Make sure that this fellow, like this long, they get long.
Argamartan.
Wait. Alice, you have now you're loving your repas. You're giving a little, you're adding a little repa in that. So it's not arga, no. Aga, martan, right? Try again.
Agamartan tu devanam gamanartan tu rakshasam kurve gantaravantattra devata hwanalanchanam.
Yes, beautiful. And just next time, make sure this one gets, it's tricky because at the end, it's gonna feel like you're losing air. But make sure you get the devata and then another one, hwanalanchanam. Very good. Okay, Bea.
Yes. Okay. Gange Chayamune Chaiva Godavari Saraswati Narmade Sindhu Kaveri Jalesmin Sannidhim Kuru.
Good. This one is short.
Oh, Kaveri.
So it kind of goes quick. Now this is because it's it kind of it's the mind gets a little bit confused because it's kind of, you know, when we're reading, we usually kind of read a word and then we have a slight break and then we continue. So it kind of looks like, so it's easy to make this long, right? So but we got to go quick to the next one. So so what you can do is that what I sometimes do is that I break it here and then I join them differently. So I make the link. So then you kind of have that quick joining, so to say. So so Gange Chayamune Chaiva Godavari Saraswati Narmade Sindhu Kaveri Jalesmin Sannidhim Kuru. So just make that Kaveri. So it's just a short E.
Yeah.
And then straight. Jalesmin Sannidhim Kuru. Good. Alice.
Deho devalaya proktaha jivo devasanatana jaje danyana nirmayam soham bhavena pujaye.
Beautiful. And Bea?
Yes. Okay, this is Asmin Bimbe Shri Maha Saraswati Devi Yayami
Long. Jayami.
Dhyayami.
Good. And remember that you're staying on the Saraswati. So Asmin Bimbe Shri Maha Saraswati Devi Jayami.
Okay. To do the next one as well.
Yep.
Asmin Bimbe Shri Maha Saraswati Devi Avahayami.
Open the mouth. Ava, Ava,
This is my
Ava. Yeah.
My dream.
Ava.
Avaya Avahayami.
Ava Hayami. Ava.
Avahayami.
Yes.
Avahayami.
So it's quite nice. It's like a nice Ava Hayami. And practice that almost like you're flying with a Sanskritam flight, and you just kind of go past the akara and then you go as, and you're dipping your toes there. So asmin, and then you do the same thing with the makara. Bimbe, asmin bimbe. Can you do just do though and just go like asmin bimbe.
Asmin bimbe.
Yes, there it is. There it is. So give that kind of like asmin bimbe. Because you have a drittam there, right? You got the sakara and the makara. So you're staying 1/2 matra longer on the sakara. And the same thing with the bim, bim. So you get that bim. Okay, good. Alice?
Asanam samarpayami.
Good. You be really good with your repas. Very good. Bea.
Yes. Padhyam samarpayami.
Good. Alice.
Arghyam samarpayami.
So here's tricky because you got the repa and then aspirate, but you got to go to the repa land and stay there a little bit. So same like us, you go argyam, argyam, argyam. So don't stay long. Don't give the length to the akara.
Arghyam samarpayami.
And go to the repalan as well here. So do one more time and repalan on both letters.
Arghyam samarpayami.
Yes, very good. Bea?
Achamaniyam samarpayami.
Good. Alice?
Madhuparkam samarpayami.
One more time. Go to the repalan on this one.
Madhuparkam samarpayami.
Bea?
Snanam samarpayami.
Good. Alice?
Snananantaram achamaniyam samarpayami.
Beautiful. Bea?
Vastram samarpayami.
Good. And notice here that you also have, you can make a note, you have this, it's a Viton, right? So you here you'd even have 3 consonants, but you're still having a half matra longer on the Saraswati. So, vastram, so it's like you're saying vas, and then you say stram, right? So it's not like you're saying va-stram, you're saying vas-stram. Vastram. So you're landing on the sakara and then you take off on sakara. Vastram samarpayami. Alice?
Upavitam samarpayami.
Good. And this is the one I have to write in transliteration. Can you see it? Bea?
I think I have it here. Is it abharanam? Is it?
Yeah, you have it here.
Abharanam? Oh yes, it's there. Abharanam samarpayami. Oh, this is the na.
So
Abharanam.
so this is long, so you did that really well, and you did the aspirate. And then here you got to put the tongue back. Abaranam, abaranam, nam nam nam, na 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 na. And to do that, pull the cheeks back. Na, abaranam, na na na.
I'll try again. Abharanam samarpayami.
Better. Now, what happens a lot of times is that we do it. So make sure you get all the letters. So you got first, you got the a, and then you got bha, and then you got the repa, ra, and then nam. Baranam, baranam. So make sure the repa also gets heard.
I need to also go to Repalant.
Go to the repa land.
Abharanam. Okay. Oh, let's try again?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Abharanam. Oh, again. Abharanam samarpayami.
Good. So just practice that. So it's short,
Yes.
short. They're all short. Just the first one is long. So you go abharanam, 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 abharanam.
Abharanam.
Yep.
Abharanam.
It's gonna come. Okay, here we go. Alice?
Gandhantarayami.
So here is actually a normal dental. So you got gan, dhan. So there's no tongue back. So you go from a guttural, ga, ga, and then you go straight into the front of the mouth, gan, dhan, gan, dhan.
Gandhan Dharayami.
Yes. And Bea, so you gotta let me know if this is tricky enough because it's getting to the new parts. Are you okay to do
Yeah.
this one?
I think I did this, but I haven't practiced enough, but I will now.
It's okay.
Yes. Gandhasyo, no, syo. Gandhasyo pari haridra kumkum haridra. Okay. Haridra kumkum samarpayami.
Good. So you got the swara, you got the melody. It's beautiful. So you can work on getting the sounds out. So gandhasyo pari haridra kumkumam samarpayami. So when you get, for example, when you get here, feel that you have it in the back of the kumkumam, kumkumam. So you're pressing the tongue in the back. Kumkumam. Do you want to try it one more time? Because you did really well, but just to kind of get the...
Yes. Gandhasyo pari haridra kumkum samarpayami.
That's it.
Mm.
Alice?
Pushpani Samarpayami.
That's it. And Bea?
Try this one. Dhupamagrapayami.
Dhupa, dhupamagrapayami.
Dhupamagrapayami.
So where's tricky? It's because you got this long, short, long, right? So dhupama, so short, dhupamagrapayami. It's kind of changing between short and long. Dhupamagrapayami. So you got to go straight past this short one. Dhupama, dhupama.
Dhupamagrapayami.
Yes, there you go. Alice?
Deepam Sandarshayami.
Good. And Bea?
Try this one. I don't know if I've done
Is
it
this new?
before. Maybe I think, but I'll try. Dhupadipanantaram achamaniyam samarpayami.
There you go. Alice, do you want to try this? Because I think it's new ones, right? Dhupadi.
Bhupadipanantaram achamaniyam samarpayami.
That's great. Okay. Who is it? I think it's
Okay.
Alice. Alice, can you do this one?
Yeah. Om Bhurvassuvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat.
Bea, is this new for you?
I didn't listen to the recording, so I can try.
Okay.
I'll have to read it here. I also okay. Om Pranaya Swaha.
Okay. So if you now we gotta open our mouth to the max, Om Pranaya Swaha. So really open up.
Mhm. Om Pranaya Swaha.
they all go up. Om
Om.
prana. You hear that? So it goes up. Pranaya swaha. Prana, pranaya swaha. Try again.
Om pranaya swaha.
Yes.
I'm going to wake up the neighbors.
Wait, no, no disturbance. But I think they really love that sound. But there it is. There it is. There you got it. Om pranaya swaha.
Om pranaya swaha.
Good. And you notice how much air, by the end of that, you don't have more air, right? So, and then you got to do it again and again and again. So you have to, really make sure you have a
Breathe.
big breath. Big breath and get ready for the next one. Alice, can you do the second one?
Om apanaya swaha.
So here you got to go. The first one is the sword. So it's Om apa. So it just goes straight to the. So it's apa. Apa.
Om apanaya swaha.
Yes. Bea.
Om yanaya swaha.
Good. And it's not a so it's a swara. So you just go up with the swaha. So it's not like swa. You hear this. This is very common. You see people go swaha like a visarga. This is not a visarga. This is just the intonation is going up. So swaha but it's very, very, you hear that a lot. People makes almost like a visarga. So drop the hakara and just go with the and completely open here. Good. Alice.
Om udanaya swaha.
Good. Bea.
Om samanaya swaha.
Good. Alice.
Om brahmane swaha.
Yes. So when you do this, this is the time when you so we just been showing we just been offering the food and saying thank you for the food and visualizing everything that goes behind food, farmers, the seeds, Mother Earth, like not taking anything for granted, not going like, it's mine. It's like, no, thank you very much. Like, this is beautiful. So you got this, got the bell in your left hand, and that can be a little bit tricky in the beginning to coordinate, because you, if you're many people, there might be the other person doing the bell, and then you have a flower in your right hand, and so you go Om pranaya swaha, Om apanaya swaha, Om yanaya swaha, Om udanaya swaha, Om samanaya swaha, Om brahmane swaha. So normally what you do is that you're circling one hand, and then you do the offering to the altar. So
Like some
Great.
coordination work there.
yeah, it can be
Okay.
tricky. Yeah, because you got the bell and yeah. Or you can
With the food side of things, so what do you do with that for altar wise? Because there's not much room on my little
Oh,
space. So I don't know what to. I mean, obviously you can visualize things, so that's helpful.
Do you
But
mean to
what's
place the
the
food?
food for? The food is like you have the offering for the god, and that is the god's food. Because I don't know, and then that goes. Then afterwards, that food goes to the animals.
no.
It doesn't.
The food is for you. Like you
Uh-huh.
don't let the food decay, or you put it on the altar, and then when the puja is over, you bring the food back to you.
Ah.
So you don't throw it, or you don't, it's prasadam, it comes back to you.
Mm.
Yeah.
No, I've heard that well, I don't know what it is for, but I know sometimes that people feed the animals as a recognition of like we're all part of the same thing, and some of it's sort of auspiciousness.
Yeah.
I think I saw sometime in India they give to the cow if they have a cow, like that gives them milk or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I saw that sometimes. But
Yeah. There's so many ways to show devotion. There's so many ways to say thank you. Yeah. In have you ever been to a Hare Krishna restaurant? You probably have in England. Must be so many.
I told Alice that when she comes to London, we must go to one because it's the best food I've ever had.
It's the best food, right?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like it's just this, and they do a lot of devotion to the food, a lot. They don't take it for granted, They don't just go, McDonald's style, like, they really, it's prayer, it's prayerfulness. So
That's quite shocking, actually, when you consider the difference, because I've worked in catering as well a lot, and so I see what happens with food. Fortunately, it hasn't been McDonald's, but yeah, well, you can see how it's cooked and everything, and there's a big difference. I mean, when you're working in a restaurant or something and you see the love and the attention the chefs put into everything, that's one thing. But I think when you compare that to something like McDonald's, it's quite different. The intention behind it.
There's so many aspects with the puja, you have the aspect of gratitude, to say thank you. That's a part of that, to say I'm not taking you for granted. That and then when you eat, you're really spending time, and like that comes back to you. You're not doing it for someone, you're not doing it for something outside of yourself, you're doing it for your, it comes back to you. And when it comes back to you, you have, it affects you. It affects everything around you, but it also affects you. So
I know it's an Ayurvedic principle as well. It's one of those things. So when you cook, you always cook from fresh. But this is the theory anyway. And when you're cooking, the idea is that because you're doing the cooking, you're putting a lot of love into that as well. So this is what makes food taste so good. It's that you're in that mindset of that you're interacting with the food, and that's actually one of the. There are a couple of things I really loved from India. One was the squatty toilets, believe it or not. I just think it's so good for you. It's really good for you to do that. It's like your body is natural. We're just causing ourselves problems in the West with that. But the other thing I think is eating with your hands, because I think we've got our own cultural reasons for it, because we had our own sort of thing with disease and whatnot in the West. But I think eating with your hands is so important because you get a feel of like how much you're eating. You can't sort of inhale your food or rush, and you're getting the right size, and you feel full, and all of this sort of thing. And it's such a, it makes your body feel like, oh, I'm about to eat, or oh, this is, yeah, I don't know. I just thought that this is amazing. We should all eat with our hands. And who doesn't like eating with their hands?
Exactly.
Soup's a bit tricky, but apart
Yeah.
from that.
Do the you know, like the whole, yeah, yeah. We have so many things that we picked up because we want to sit straight and fork and knife and, you know, this, then it's well, some people have that values, but yeah, it's true, you know. Yeah. Why do we love our home cooked meals? You know, think of, you know, why are there, you know, we love, you know, the home cook, you know, because there's so much care and love and time, no stress, and you know, not thinking, it's like that there's aspects of making that food which is so beautiful. So yeah, please take it to Hare Krishna, Bia.
I've been saying to my boyfriend, we must go, and he was always, oh no, don't take me to there, I will go another time. And then I think about 1 month ago we went,
yeah,
and now he keeps saying, when shall we go again?
Oh yeah, it's amazing, so good. Yeah, and they're singing, you know, they're singing.
Yeah, you can actually, because they have the kitchen downstairs in this one, they have under the ground, there is the kitchen, then there is a little cafe in the middle, and then there is the temple upstairs. You can actually hear them singing in the kitchen while they're cooking.
Yeah.
So it's like a Hare Krishna disco kind of.
Yeah. Here in Bali, they will never start eating before they're offering to the gods. It's just, they will never, you know, even when they drink coffee, you pour a little bit of a you know, on the, you pour a little bit of coffee on the ground or something to show, like, you know, I'm so grateful. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you do it. Because I've seen some people, they will set a separate place for the god or whatever, or they put have a separate plate and they put it to one side and make sure that this god is served first. And so I've seen them put them on the altar, sort of thing. But yeah, I don't know. I'm very,
you know, I think that because we're coming from culture with a lot of this was lost, that's why we cannot go like, how do they do it? You know, we want, there's probably something that it's so natural for us, but because we grew up without it, we look like, how do they do it? If we were born whatever year, you know, back in the old days, it would be the most natural thing for us. We wouldn't even think about it. It wouldn't have been anything like, I know in Sweden, when you talk about certain things and people think that you are that it's weird, or it's la la land, or it's crazy land or something, it would have been unheard of. It would be the most natural thing to do before you, and you just take time to say thank you. So I think that when we look at other people, we of course we can get inspired how they do it, you know, but there's also that simplicity that you can start doing your own, you know, before you kind of like just take a moment to say, you know, before you're starting the food, and just go a couple of seconds and go, thank you so much. If you later on want to start chanting like what we chant, the Annapurne Sadapurne Shankara Prana. We do that for every meal. But if I'm in a place where, you know, in a family puja and they're not really comfortable with me chanting, I would just do it quietly and just go Hrim Shrim Annapurneshwarye. And I respect them, because if I don't want to disturb their feelings either. you know. So I just, you know. But if you're back home and no one is around you, you know, you can do whatever you can elaborate. You can do anything. But when you do the with the food, so if your altar is quite small, you know, you can use the like you can have it in a bowl, and maybe I mean, you don't need to have a big buffet, you know. Maybe just like I usually come down. What did I come down with? Banana today. So I put a banana. So when you have that, you circle usually like clockwise 3 times, and then so naivedyam nivedayami navedyanantaram achamaniyam samarpayami, and so on. Yeah.
I am hungry now.
Great. How far did we go? Was this new for both of you? This is what we did, or this is old things?
I think we did the swahas. We did that last time.
I think that's the one I missed, but now I am on track, I think. Was it last week, wasn't it? Because I didn't come last week.
Is this new for you, for both of you? Naivedyam, Naved. Okay, so let's add that on for next week. So you got this one. Navedyanantaram achamaniyam samarpayami. So get used to that, dropping your jaw when you have the long ah. It's going to help you so much. So much. Okay, good. Shall we stop here? Because you also have all this. This is quite a. If you get this, it's beautiful. But it is quite, you know, really to open up the throat. Om pranaya swaha, and to really go there to the end of the breath. And then
it reminds me of Aarti. I remember I saw the Ganga Aarti.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I mean, you look at the little lamps that we have, and they've got, I mean, I know it's a spectacle now and they've made it into something more, but have you seen the lamps that they have? They're these massive brass lamps, and these guys are doing it one.
Are you talking about the Varanasi, that one? Varanasi?
Yeah, Ganga Aarti, where they've got these huge brass lamps, and I'm just thinking that those are not light, and they're doing it one-handed. It's beautiful, but yeah, when you hear them doing the swaha, it always reminds you of that, the swaha.
Yeah, and that's what you do in the homa as well. So when you have a fire ritual, when you go the swaha, that's when you're offering into the fire. So you offer.
That's what I remember. It was to do. I just remember it with we did a little fire ritual as part of something else that I was doing as well, and it was mesmerizing when you've got the Swami, or is it Swami or Pandit or both? What is it called? What is
so you got Swamis, and then you got Pandits. So it's the little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
Same but different. No, it's not. Sorry, it's not same. It's
not the same. It's different. Yeah. Yeah.
But, so you went to Varanasi.
Yeah. Oh. I ended up doing 2 boat things, because I did the one at dawn and I got to see the one at the evening, and you put your little candle in the water, and oh my gosh, it's become quite a sort of touristy thing, but you can still get the feel of the guts, the different guts. I really loved that, and because that's partly why I went, because I'm just fascinated by how different people approach the life cycle and how it's seen there and everything, but being on the river so early and to watch the sun, and the life of
Oof,
people, and you watch
the
them
life.
doing the clothes. They've got the washing out, and they've got these massive sheets, and they're drying it, and it's just like
I've never been to a place like Varanasi. It was so special, so special. It was like a mix of everything, you know.
yeah.
I remember sitting there like, I don't need to move. I just need to. It's all happening among me. I just stay here. And I remember the puja. I thought it was powerful, powerful. Oof. Yeah,
You saw the arti?
yeah, yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
I think when I went, it was so busy on the actual river that I had to get on a boat.
Yeah.
to
Oh,
then
to come out.
watch it, to watch it from the boat, from the river towards the towards where the arti was.
It's like a chaos, but somehow it's very special place. Wow. I mean, you got everything. I remember thinking like, okay, it's fine. You know, you got the sadhus, the one that were just smoking and just blabbering, you know, but you also had a lot of I remember like I saw a couple of, not many of them, but I saw a couple of them. Yeah, very devout, you know, there was a completely different energy. And then you got the death, and then you got the, you know, the puja and everything that goes on, and the devotional and the chaos and the this and that. It's wow. Yeah. And the cows and bulls and everything running on small little aisles and
Oh, I miss that so much. Actually, you just got cows walking into the shop and stuff.
yeah.
But in England or somewhere, it would be like, what is this? We do not have
Yeah, yeah, that would be a place I could go back to one day for sure. Yeah. Okay, dokie. Shall we put so we got two more, and then we continue. Got a little bit more, and the next part is it gets a little bit I don't know what to say, like trickier a little bit. You really have to move the mouse. So just take this week and really practice the previous ones, so they kind of, you feel comfortable with them, and so you're ready for the next steps. Great. All right. Om swasti prajapya paripalayantam nyayena margena mahim mahishaha go brahmanebhya shubhamastu nityam loka samasta sukhino bhavantu kale varshatu parjanyaha prithvi sasya shalini desho yanksho barahitaha brahmana santu nirbhayaha om sarvesham swastir bhavatu sarvesham shantir bhavatu sarvesham purnam bhavatu sarvesham mangalam bhavatu sarve bhavantu sukhinah sarve santu niramayaha sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kachit dukkha bhag bhavet asato ma sakkamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityo ma amritangamaya om purnamadav purnamidam purnat purnamudachyate purnasya purnamadaya purnameva vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha Hari Om. Om. Thank you, ladies.